Okay, everybody, let's see if this reading is even for you. So you're going to pinch your fingers together and you're going to ask, is this reading meant for me? And then you're going to pull. And if those fingers stay together, it's a yes. If it is a no, they will come apart. We're asking today what energies are coming in at me. What am I feeling? What am I feeling that's not mine? What's coming in at me from the outside? Okay? And so if we look here, this card is you. Right now, you're the sun reversed, which is not terrible. It's just that some of your sense of joy that you can take in who you are is hampered a little bit right now. And part of that is from your outside world, you've got. So up here, I've got this kind of reserved for your external world, and down here, it's more for like things coming in from your immediate family. So up here in your outside world, you've got somebody who is dealing with something very new emotionally. All right, there's some new feeling that they've never had to deal with before, and they are wanting to get away from it, but they can't. Okay? When I see something like that, I think cancer diagnosis maybe, like some kind of news where there are so many things where it's like, well, yeah, now you're going to have to decide whether you're going to do this or you're going to do that. This is like, now this is on your plate and you don't have a choice. You are going to have to walk through this. You can't get away from it. Okay? So that is weighing down on you. The general new feeling of it is kind of making life around you feel like the new things in your world and the things that are being birthed are not things that you would actually want. The Empress card is a card of just the fertileness of nature and birthing and all of that beautiful expansiveness. And when she's reversed, it's kind of just like, oh, that's an ugly baby, right? And so there's just this feeling of like all the things that I am working on feel wrong, they feel bad. And it's not that they're actually bad, it's that it's getting colored by this energy that's coming in. This need for the person to escape their problem, but their inability to do it, is creating a feeling of just sort of being trapped and out of control. And the way that your body mind complex is responding to that is it's making you a little too serious, a little too shrewd. It's like you really feel like you just need to keep control over everything because it just feels like everything's wrong right now. Okay? Down here at the level of your immediate family, you have someone close to you that is in a state of worry. I think they're possibly not sleeping well, but at the very least, this is just sort of that adrenaline and worry that people feel. It's pretty normal. Over here, though, we have, I guess, what I would describe as a manipulation. So, when you have a problem in life, you can walk right up to that problem and engage with it in an open way. And that's a very gentle, non manipulative way to deal with an issue. But a lot of people, what they do instead is they think if they just continue complaining about it loudly enough in their head and spewing negative energy around it, that somehow that's going to change it. It's a kind of a manipulation tactic. And that's what this card is showing right here. And so all of that is kind of putting some bad energy into your life as well. Now, you have some protections around you because you have been focusing on your spiritual life, okay? That's why I can see here the Hermit is in the mix and the Star is in the mix, okay? Your kind of meditation and your spiritual practices, those things that bring clarity to you, are going to help you separate out what's yours and what's theirs. And the Hermit card up here is kind of advice coming in telling you that the way to deal with this person is you have to actually light the way for them. You have to show up for them. You have to actually have faith that they are going to be okay. That doesn't mean they're going to live. It doesn't mean whatever this big problem is going to be resolved. It means that there's a road through this that is okay and that you are there to kind of light that way for them. The way that you support somebody is never by telling them to think positive. Don't do that. It's never by trying to convince them that the problem isn't that big. Instead, you actually do have to kind of step into the problem, be in the problem, but not a part of the problem. And so the way you do that is you actually have some faith in them because they can't see that in themselves right now. Have some faith in them that they are going to find their way through this and that you're going to be there to support them. And if you can do that, you know, it kind of takes some of the panic and the newness out of all of this and they won't feel so alone. All right, so that is how you deal with them. You have to actually be present and nurture, okay, and light the way for them spiritually. But for the people that are close to you, you really can't afford to play spiritual teacher. Instead, you need to actually just be so grounded in your own clarity and meditation that you can tell the difference between what's yours and what's theirs. And so what that means is when you figure out something isn't yours, then you stop responding to it as if it's yours. Okay, you don't get into the arguments, you don't get into the fighting, you just recognize that someone around you is struggling and you just stay in your place of clarity and help however you can. Okay? So that's my advice for you today. This is your reading. Life is challenging. You have to show up for it. And if you do that, and if you do that with some intention, you have spiritual protections around you that will make all of this suffering a learning experience for you. Okay, good luck. If you'd ever like a reading from me, come find me at hiddenpathways.com. Otherwise, I'll see you in another video.